This is the figure complex Amazing Yamaguchi Wolverine by Kyoto. And boy, is this figure truly, truly amazing. I didn't expect it to be this nice, but it truly is. It's a figure, it's the 5th installment in this line of Amazing Yamaguchi figure complex figures. And it is truly, truly a work of art. Absolutely fantastic. He does come with his own base and Revoltech figure stand and some added accessories as well. Extra Revoltech ball hinge joints and whatnot. So didn't bother opening because it's exactly the same. Comes with a set of instructions how to mount the accessories. And speaking of accessories, okay, before we begin with the accessories, let me just show you the fantastic artwork that came with the box. That's the inside insert sheet or background. Boy, I mean, if you've been reading up on the comic books, you'd probably be very familiar with these covers from various Marvel mutant X-Men comic books. And speaking of the box, here is that wonderful, wonderful box. Amazing Yamaguchi box. This is the slash effect that you plug in. The example they give is Deadpool. Like, so even in the back of the box, you plug it into another character, another Amazing Yamaguchi character, and it's sort of like his slash marks. So that's pretty cool. He comes with some hands. This is the Spider-Man hands, like you're holding like silly holding hands. A part of the glove where the claws come out are non-removable. They are removable for these close-fisted hands, as well as these open, like, grabbing hands. And I don't have them pegged in all the way simply because it is a pain to remove these sheathed claws, part of the glove, the claw sheaths. And if you put it all the way in, oh man, it'll take you forever just to get rid of this, to replace them or remove them. But these are nice little grabby hands. This is it's like a pistol trigger hand. Don't know why you would use a gun. I don't know. Well, maybe when he was back in the service, military service, he did use guns. But right now, as an X-Man, I don't see him using guns. So trigger pistol hands. And then he's got some extra set of heads. This is like the sneering head, like, which I'll show you later in another pose, as well as this one. This is like the screaming head sculpt, which is this one's a little bit underwhelming. I wanted more expression on this one. This should have been like show you. I was kind of hoping for more of like that, like the Weapon X scream, and this one is like it's a little bit subdued, like not okay, but we'll see if we can mount that. The other hands are just okay, so okay. So going back here onto the figure, let me get rid of this so we're not too distracted. Okay, all right. Let's talk about articulation and detail. Detail of the figure is very similar to how Venom was. The way the articulation has been designed, it's very similar to how Venom is, but not exact, but very similar. He's got that extra shoulder piece that you can move that entire side of the shoulder in a ball joint. And he's got the Revoltech double ball hinge shoulder. His neck, there's a ball joint here, and then there's another ball hinge here, so that's pretty cool. The elbows are regular Revoltech joint, ball joint here, and then a ball hinge elbow joint there. Hands are just normal Revoltech joint there, ball hinge. That's it. And then you can remove the claws if you want to replace them with the sheath claws. That's pretty cool. Upper torso is again Revoltech ball hinge ball joint, ball jointed hips. And there's a very high thigh cut, just like Venom. But this one is more precise, I think. The Venom I had struggle, which was the prone position. This one, because of the design of the uniform, you'll immediately see which is the prone position or regular position. And then he's got this amazingly like 110 degree bend of a knee joint. Very, very cool. It's like there's like a depression there on his the back of his head, his hamstring, but that I don't mind that. That allows you to do that. The calf, I was very surprised. I thought it was just a hinge joint, but it is actually a ball joint. And again, ball hinge ankles, just like the Revoltech joint. And the swivels are here, so allow you to rock them. And some toe articulation, which I'm not really quite fond of. Very tight. I'm not going to show you how it is because it's going to loosen it. I don't want to loosen it. I'm not particularly fond of those toe articulation. So he's so amazing. Pain apps, not as perfect as maybe a Takara design, but it's good enough. Some imperfections in the heads, in the paint of the yellows and blues, but that's forgivable. Could be worse, like Hasbro does it worse. So yeah, I got him in this like leaping pose. You can also pose him in other poses, which I'll show you right now. And here he is in that about to go berserker rage on somebody pose. Like, no, Hasbro figures can't. It's like impossible to get Hasbro figures in this very stable pose. It's like, and I have the alternate head on him right now. It's like, he's like getting angry. He's about to go berserk on somebody. And here he is in a pose where I think he's just finished the kill. He's gone rabid, and it's like, he's celebrating a kill victory. And boy, so much expression. Because of the articulation of the figure. And again, even if the expression on this head sculpt is a little bit subdued, you can still manage a very emotive type of pose, and you know what he's done. And he's like that. And here he is in a sort of classic hunting pose, which I had trouble doing for my other Wolverine figures. And it's like he's famous, like his claws are like poised to his sides, like Hugh Jackman did in Wolverine 2. And he's like hunting for his prey, and he's like trying to track down any of the strikers, man, or something like that. But very, very nice. And you can use the standard head for that. And here is the Wolverine, amazing Yamaguchi Wolverine figure together with his Hasbro counterparts. This is the taller version of the Hasbro Wolverine, the Astonishing Wolverine, or just the Tiger Stripe Wolverine. I don't even remember. But this is sort of like a comic version of Hugh Jackman because he's very tall. And this is the more accurate pug-sized Wolverine. Comic book size Wolverine. This is during the Silvestri era in the brown and beige uniform, and as you can see, the Yamaguchi figure stands just under 6 inches if you measure it, and is about the same height as the more accurate Wolverine mold by Hasbro, and this guy's almost 6 inches tall. And they're in great scale with each other. This is a perfect scale for Wolverine. And comparing him with the Hasbro versions, I love the bulk and the heft that they've put in him. It doesn't feel as exaggerated. These two other guys, the Hasbro versions, are looking quite thin compared to him. And in the comic books, he was short. He was about 5'2", 5'3". And he was massive. He was built like a rock, and as you can see, he had that heft. He had that hulkish type of heft to him, even though he was shorter than most of the other X-Men. And as you can see, this was a great scale, but in terms of the actual proportions of how we've seen Wolverine in the comic books, this is it. So it's a no-brainer. If you're a big Wolverine fan, you have got to pick up this figure. If you want, this is by far, in my opinion, the best 1/12 scale Wolverine. I don't have the Mezco yet. I don't think I'll be able to get it because Mezco has pulled out. And I don't see Mezco in a lot of shops here in Manila, but I hear that's a very good figure as well. The collective, the 1/12 collective. But to me, I don't need the cloth, the fabric, uniform. I'm happy with this. It's the articulation that matters to me. And if you're like me, then this is the figure for you. My good buddy Jay, I was about to mention something else, but my good buddy Jay, the guy who hooks me up with all these Transformers, he's doesn't seem convinced that he should put or invest money in these amazing Yamaguchi Marvel figures. And I'm like, I've been trying to convince him to do so, and he's like, nah, I don't need the Yamaguchi. I'm okay with the Hasbro. And I was like, dude, if this Wolverine figure does not convince you, I don't know what will. I mean, just pick up the Wolverine or maybe a Deadpool figure and you will instantly be hooked in this line, on this line, because it is amazing. A lot of love has been put in it, and it's not as price restrictive for many collectors as the 1/12 collective by Mezco. Mezco 1/12 collective, but it sets you back $60-$80. Here in Manila, oh my God, people are selling that Punisher for like $100, $85. On Facebook and on the secondary market. But this one, I picked it up at Art Toys, and it's about $60 or under. So it's a nice little price point. Mezco is on the $80 range. This one is on the $60. It's about how much you would pay for a leader class Transformers figure here in Manila. That's about the same price it's going for. And to me, it's well worth the money. Every bit of it. So I've been trying to convince my buddy Jay. My other buddy Nico, he's really into this, and we're all waiting for that Magneto to come out, and he's got everything. Like that Spider-Man, and I don't have Spider-Man yet, and I think he's got this on pre-order. It is amazing, bro. You've got to get it now and open it. So my good buddy Jay, try picking up this figure, and I guarantee you'll be hooked on the line. For all of you out there who are still undecided on this figure, this is an amazing figure. Don't pay more than $60 or $65 for it. That's it. That's what this figure is worth. Anything more than that, might be scalper prices. If you can get it below $60, that is an amazing deal. So there you go, folks. It's obviously going to get a 10 out of 10 for me. I hope you've enjoyed this little video review. This has been the Figure Complex Amazing Yamaguchi, powered by Rebel Tech, Wolverine by Kyodo. Thanks for watching.